Hello everyone, Impy Hater here, and welcome back to my newcomer's guide for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. This is part 17. So, in the last episode, we ended up making it through the Harada estate via the Father's Bell Charm, and we have made it to the Owl boss fight. However, Owl is an endgame boss, and we are not yet to endgame, so I wanted to reach this area though because I wanted to make sure that we got the sake, to make sure that we can give everyone sake in the game. And just to get as many prayer beads as possible before we head into the final area, which is a pretty large area. Now, there's a few things that we're going to do in this episode, mainly because I want to pad out the episode, because I'd like to end it with the fight against the true corrupted monk, so we can more properly focus on that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do some wrap up. We're going to head first to the Ashina Depths, to Mibu Village. And we're going to use this opportunity to go buy some of the carp scales. In fact, we're going to get all the carp scales in the game that are not at the Fountainhead Palace. So go ahead and buy both of the treasure carp scales that this guy has. Next, we're going to head to Harada Estate. Bamboo Thicket Slope would be fine. Actually, the other one's probably closer. Oh well. So I'm basically just going to run past all these enemies. So what I really want to do is when I get in the water here. Alright, so we got that one. And then we're going to head back to the Dragon Spring. Basically the first section of Harada Estate, because there's two more in the water, right next to the Pot Noble. So one thing I hate about this place, if you don't rest at the idol before progressing, now it will pretty much always send you back here. It's really irritating whenever we're fighting Owl, specifically. Wish that was something that they patched, though. This game being almost 5 years old means they're probably not going to be patching that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and travel over to the Dragon Spring. And I like to come around kind of the right side here because this one often likes to run. Or come around the corner here. And I'm going to kind of do it from here so that we have plenty of... Oh god. So if they disappear like that, just hide and they'll reappear. There we go. So if you've been following the walkthrough up to this point, you should have 12 treasure carps, which is just enough to have bought all of his items. Now we are going to be coming back to this guy a little bit later to make a decision. But for now, we are going to be good for that. If you talk to him, though, he says he wants to become a carp. Kind of weird. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and head back to the idol now. Alrighty. And now we are going to progress the story with the Divine Child in order for us to gain access to the final endings of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and use the rice. You want to make sure that you have used any rice that you have, if you have any. Sweet rice ball, no problem. But rice as well as fine snow, which is something that you may have from a previous playthrough. So make sure you've used those. And then we're going to travel over to the Inner Sanctum.
Shinobi of you are Shinobi this time.
So go ahead and request rice again from the Divine Child.
I thank you.
Right, please. Farewell, Schmidt. Shinobi of the Iowa.
So you want to catch her sleeping. Then we're going to use the rice again. We're going to need to travel away from the temple. And then travel back. And request rice again.
Shinobi, please bless.
You have my...
Of course, remember. Thank you for.
Then we'll rest. And she's going to be hunched over. Apparently she's sick. Go ahead and talk to her. And we have obtained several persimmons at this point, but she just needs one. So give her a persimmon.
Good.
She's going to give you more rice. And this time she's going to give you rice for Kuro. So now we're going to head back to Kuro's room.
Wolf.
I am
Something for
here.
This?
Yes.
This
it is.
bite?
My,
Which rush?
So after you talk to him, he's going to tell us to go away for a little while. We'll basically want to rest, come back and talk to him.
my,
He's going to give you a couple rice balls. You don't have to use it here, but if you use it, you'll get some extra dialogue.
this is...
How was the right?
It was...
I made.
Alright, so talk to him, and then we're going to go ahead and head back.
Did you give the
Yeah,
the
yeah, no.
Oh,
So talk to Divine Child. Then we're going to rest. Now the Divine Child is gone, we're going to travel... Actually, I guess we could go... I was about to travel to the main hall, but we're going to be heading here anyway, so... Come back here, go to the Halls of Illusion. And the Divine Child is sitting over here.
But thank he get. Oh, it is. Yeah, there is. That's the it's unto the direct to the. However, perhaps he
Yeah.
this I should.
So talk to him, and he's going to tell you that he wants you to find a kind of the Temple Elder. So we're going to travel to Senpu Temple to the main hall. And then we're going to head left. Head outside. Go ahead and head down here. Kill these guys, run by them, that's fine too. Either way, though, we're going to come down here. So you might remember this a while back. I called this out in a previous episode of the walkthrough. Alright, and now this guy has Holy Chapter Dragon's Return. You might remember the Holy Chapter Infested that we got from the lake in front of the Senpu Temple, the main, I guess, kind of the main Senpu Temple, what do you call it, idol. So make sure that you have obtained that. I will real quick point it out. So it'll be at the bottom of this lake. The Holy Chapter Infested. Again, you need to make sure that you've also given that to Kuro, not Kuro, I'm sorry, the Divine Child as well. Which we did a few episodes ago, so. Otherwise, we're now going to head back to the Inner Sanctum again, and we're going to give the Divine Child the new scripture that we found.
Shinobi, have you the I will I can the eye of I shift
Wait.
Shinobi of the divine air.
So she needs persimmons, but not the normal persimmons like we've given. She actually needs the dry and the wet persimmons, I guess. which are basically the hearts of the two serpents. So we have previously killed one serpent, and then we stole the dry heart of the other that the other one was guarding. So we'll go ahead and give both of those to her. She doesn't want you to see her eating basically hearts of animals, so kind of gruesome. So apparently it's not a very nice experience. So, rest again.
No. Oh, Shin, are you? Shin, could you?
Yeah, what?
It is which is these.
So we now have the frozen tears. Once we get the final items, the dragon tears from the dragon that we're going to be facing in the Fountainhead Palace, we will have everything that we need at that point for getting all of the endings. Now, one call out: if you're not doing this particular series of quest lines now, you must do this before you fight and kill the dragon. If you kill the dragon, you will basically not be able to obtain the frozen tears or any of the additional endings that come with it. So,
Yeah, I did. If
so with that, we are going to travel over to the Wedding Cave door, and we're going to head finally to the True Corrupted Monk, which is basically a boss that we're going to fight immediately after entering the Fountainhead Palace. So come in here and pray, and you're going to be transported to the top of a... I don't even know. So it's like something out of Fantasia, like maybe parts of a broom or whatever. Anyway, drop down here for a pellet, and then we're going to head up the stairs and grab ourselves an idol. So, this is another one of the bosses that kind of tests your abilities. However, I will say there are some ways to cheese this boss. I'll go ahead and show you the cheese first, and then we're going to end up tackling basically the first phase normally. So, wait for the boss to come your way, then we're going to come over here. You want to kind of angle yourself and be walking away from here, and you want the enemy to be coming after you. And you basically want to jump off here and then kickflip against the wall, just as he comes. And if you do that, and do it just right... It looks like we didn't do it just right. This is not an exact science, that is for sure. But basically, we can get this boss stuck in a corner here. And I don't think I got that either. There we go. So you'll notice that he's basically stuck there. So that's one of the easy ways to deal with this boss, is to get him stuck there, and we can do something like Ichimonji double, for example, or we could do floating passage, which we got from the... In fact, I don't think I demoed this, but... So you can do something like that. So you can still get hit by the boss, by the way, but one of the things that we could do is just Ichimonji double this thing to death. Anyway, you can do that cheese if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and use the idol. And we're going to restart the fight. Okay, so this fight has 3 phases. The first phase is going to be heavy on deflection. You can certainly get in a handful of hits here and there, but this boss's posture bar basically raises as you do deflections. It raises the best if you do deflections anyway. And we want to basically use that to our advantage. So ideally you want to learn this ability, this enemy's attack patterns if you can. Block what you have to, deflect what you can. Get in a few cheap shots if you want to. I wouldn't worry too much about items, though I will say whenever we reach phase 3, Divine Confetti will be beneficial. We can also cheese both the second and the third phase in a more acceptable, non-glitchy way as well, which is what I'm going to recommend. So, as long as you're able to defeat the first phase, the other 2 phases can be made very easy. So, though this boss can be pretty hard if this is, if this is not a boss that you're aware of the things that you can do against it. But in my case, I'm going to go ahead and just walk in. Get a couple cheap shots. So again, deflect what you can. Once you deflect those, you're going to get a opportunity for a Makiri counter. Jump over that. Again, that combo is going to be the best thing to be aware of. And we got her. So as you beat her, remove the lock off and then grapple up here. And then we can do a death blow in the middle of the fight. Now we're into phase 3 and we can actually cheese this as well. So you can either use firecrackers or you can use, I know we've barely used it, or we can use fistfuls of ash. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Fistfuls of Ash. I'm also going to equip some Divine Confetti, mostly just for the sake of the extra damage output. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four, Ash. 1, 2, 3, 4, Ash. 1, 2, 3, 4, Ash. And just keep repeating this. If you run out, use your firecrackers. Otherwise, that is going to be the boss. So now we get another memory, so we can level up our attack power. And we also get the Dragon's Tally Board. The Dragon's Tally Board is really nice because some of the harder to find items that we've only been limited on up to this point are going to be able to be bought now. So things like Divine Confetti, for example, are now going to be available from vendors. So if you have run out of them up to this point because you've been using them, I think I've only got like 4 left. Now you have the ability to buy them. You can also buy Akko Sugar if you want it. So a lot more items are unlocked at all the various vendors. So probably want to double check if there's any new items to buy. And again, for the Akko Sugar and the Divine Confetti, there's no limit on buying them now. So if you have not yet done the Headless stuff or the Shichiman Warrior stuff, you pretty much have all the gear now to make those fights as easy as they possibly can be. But with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and grab another idol. And with that, I think that's going to wrap up this episode. In the next episode, we're going to go ahead and head down to this area. It's a pretty large area. It's got several mini-bosses and some, in my opinion, some of the most irritating enemies that we've dealt with up to this point. But until then, thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.